It is Monday, May 10. Welcome to CGN News. A GALLUP poll conducted worldwide in 2020 has shown that Jamaica had one of the highest vaccine hesitancy rates. The poll surveyed more than 300,000 people across 117 countries. The results released last week show that 32% of Jamaicans would take a COVID-19 vaccine if it was offered to them for free. 59% said they would not take the vaccine, while 8% said they did not know. Hungary, Bosnia, and Jordan were among 7 countries with lower take-up rates than Jamaica. Overall, the poll showed that 68% of adults worldwide would get a vaccine if it was offered for free. However, the poll could not have captured how attitudes might have changed as vaccines were rolled out in the first few months of 2021. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the number of Jamaicans willing to take the COVID-19 vaccine has increased since last year. He was responding to a worldwide poll showing that Jamaica had one of the highest vaccine hesitancy rates around the globe in 2020. Dr. Tufton says that figure is in line with local findings last year, but he says there are signs of reduced hesitancy, for example, among healthcare workers. He also said that the health ministry is looking to resume holding blitzes with vaccines it expects to receive this month. He added that the focus at this time is to administer second doses to at least 40,000 people. Vaccination of workers may now be a prerequisite for the opening of bars across Antigua and Barbuda. This was announced by Minister of Information Melford Nicholas during last Thursday's post-cabinet press briefing. Nicholas, in reporting on a virtual meeting with bar operators, said they were in step with the government's COVID-19 protocols. He says the bar owners agreed that workers should be inoculated. Nicholas could not give a definitive date for a second meeting with the operators, but says the Ministry of Health will lead the charge. After being blamed for the increase in COVID-19 cases, bars were closed in March this year. Meanwhile, in addition to bars, anyone working in the service industry will be subject to vaccination, Nicholas says. The Caribbean Community Single Market and Economy CARICOM Secretariat will immediately start teaching regional integration as part of a new initiative. The subject will be taught virtually by Guyanese educator Elitha Stewart Johnson to students at a high school in Belize. The students in Belize will participate with their lecturer, Abdiel Medina, a teacher of social studies. Students from both classes in Guyana and Belize will also engage each other throughout the lesson. Medina will then teach Stuart Johnson's class on May 17 via the online platform. A total of 4 teachers, 2 from Guyana and 2 from Belize, are paired to teach each other's classes during the month of May. The Ministries of Education and Trade and the participating schools have been highly supportive of the project, the Secretariat said. 20-year-old Sazoon Greer of Texas, USA, who had been missing in Jamaica since Monday, has resurfaced, the police said. He is said to be in good health. Greer was reportedly last seen at a guest house in West End Grill and had not made contact with his family. His family had launched a GoFundMe to enable his mother to visit Jamaica to search for him and to hire a private investigator. He was deemed to be missing and endangered in Jamaica. Overseas now, the cyber extortion attempt that has forced the shutdown of a vital U.S. pipeline was carried out by DARKSIDE, a gang that cultivates a Robin Hood image of stealing from corporations and giving a cut to charity, those close to the probe told the Associated Press. The shutdown stretched into its 3rd day Sunday, with the government saying an all-hands-on-deck effort is underway to restore operations and avoid disruptions in the fuel supply. Experts said that gasoline prices are unlikely to be affected if the pipeline is back to normal in the next few days. The pipeline, operated by Georgia-based Colonial Pipeline, delivers roughly 45% of fuel consumed on the East Coast. It was hit by a ransomware attack in which hackers encrypt computer systems data and then demand a huge sum to unscramble it. Around 75,000 people have signed an open letter warning about the threat of civil war in France. The message, published in a right-wing magazine, accuses the French government of granting concessions to Islamism. It is about the survival of our country, said the text, which was issued anonymously by soldiers and backed by the public. The French government condemned a similar letter published by semi-retired generals late last month. The authors of the new letter describe themselves as part of a younger generation of soldiers who have served in Afghanistan, Mali, and the Central African Republic, or joined domestic anti-terrorism operations. They criticized the French government's response to the elders who signed last month's letter. Since India opened vaccinations to all adults this month, the pace of administering the shots has dropped. Meanwhile, the Associated Press reports that cases are still rising at a record pace in the world's second most populous nation. On Sunday, India reported 403,738 confirmed cases, including 4,092 deaths. India has over 22 million confirmed infections. The country's massive vaccination drive kicked off in January, and so far 10% of the population have received one shot, while just under 2.5% have got both. In early April, India was administering 3.5 million shots a day, but this number has shrunk to an average of 1.3 million shots a day. A reason for the drop in shots is that there are just not enough available, experts say. Visitors to Dracula's castle are being jabbed with needles rather than fangs after a COVID-19 vaccine center has been set up at the Transylvania site. Medics with fang stickers on their scrubs are offering Pfizer shots to anyone who visits the 14th century Bran Castle in central Romania. It is part of a government drive to encourage more Romanians to get jabbed. Some believe the castle inspired the vampire's lair in Bram Stoker's iconic novel Dracula. Romania has recorded just over 1 million infections since the pandemic began and over 29,000 deaths. The country's government says it wants to vaccinate 10 million people by September, but almost half of Romanians say they are not inclined to get the jab, one of the highest hesitancy levels in Europe, according to the latest poll. And finally, the family of former U.S. President Barack Obama has paid tribute to, quote, our best friend, after their beloved pet dog Bo died on Saturday. Bo, Michelle Obama wrote in a social media post, had been a constant comforting presence since his arrival in the White House in 2009. The black and white Portuguese water dog was a gift for their daughters as they settled into their new home. Quote, we had no idea how much he would mean to all of us, end quote, Mrs. Obama wrote. He was exactly what we needed and more than we ever expected, Barack Obama wrote in his own post, noting how Bo had been happy to see us on our good days, our bad days, and every day in between. During his tenure as first dog, Bo became so popular that Mrs. Obama was sent a memo at the beginning of each month so she could approve official appearances. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.